Hello everyone and welcome to So Many Games All the Time. My name is Joachim and today we're going to play Marvel Zombies, the base game, but we will be adding some, all of the heroes, bystanders and zombies will be from the promo box. So if you have any suggestions, requests of heroes or bystanders or whatever that you want me to do, or game modes that you want me to try, please do let me know and I'll try to make it happen, okay? I'm going to turn this camera off and continue with the camera where we actually see the game, okay? Okay, you heard that. So here we see the board. There's a little bit of glare here, but that's okay. These are just the cards. I will show them here if you need to see them. You can see the heroes that I've chosen were the ones that interest me the most when it comes down to miniatures, or sometimes also just my favorite heroes. So we've got Giant Man. This is of course mostly because of the Magnificent mini. We have Moon Knight, which is one of my favorites. Okay. We have Magneto, also mini, but also one of my favorites. And we have Gambit, also one of my favorites. All right. So how do you play Marvel Zombies exactly? I'll quickly run through it. I also decided to choose a smaller scenario in case I make any egregious mistakes. It'll be easier to then, it's short, you know, it doesn't do much damage then. It's always more annoying if you do a longer game and then make mistakes. So what we're doing today is the MZ1, the Hunger. Easy, should be easy. I did it once before with the base game, but there's no video of that. So 25 minutes. The infection was almost instantaneous, and with it came the endless hunger. Always there. Always pushing you for your next meal. When it takes you over, it doesn't matter who you were, what your morals were, or who your friends and family were. If they are alive, they are food. This hunger, it cannot be sated, only suppressed. So basically, the objectives this time are, they can run, but they cannot hide. The objectives are devour all bystanders. The game is lost if any bystander escapes the map. So we have one bystander here, 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 and here. They're placed because of this icon, as you can see here, right? There's two kinds of bystanders. There's one bystander who tries to escape the map, and there's one bystander who will join the troops and try to damage you. Also take all objectives. So here, 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 and here. All right, and then escape via the exit with all zombie heroes. Any zombie hero may leave through this zone for free at the end of the turn, as long as there are no enemies in it. So if one of these guys die, the game is immediately over. So I have to watch out for that. There's a special setup for 5 to 6 zombie heroes, but I'm not going to spend any time on that. Then there's special rules. The taste of flesh. Each bystander gives 5 XP to the zombie who devours them. So the XP is tracked here, as you can see, and 5 XP is quite a bit if you know that after 7 XP you already level up, and the game also gets harder, but more about that later. Also be prepared. Each objective gives 5 XP to the zombie hero who takes it. Now, once again, if a zombie hero goes in here and manages to get the bystander and the XP, the objective will go up 10 immediately. So how does the game work exactly? The zombie heroes start in the middle, and as I said before, we need to get the bystanders and the objectives. The game is divided into zones, and they're always like flanked or walled by the lines here, by the zebra crossing. So this is one zone, this is one zone, this is one zone, this tiny zone is here, one zone, this is one, this is one. You get the gist of it. This is one as well. So this is important when it comes down to powers, because for example, all of these, I didn't do it on purpose, but all of these are basically ranged. You can see here the ranged icon. You also have the fist, which is melee. Now he can actually devour in range, but the rest can only devour in melee form. So range is important because it says here 0 to 1. That means your own zone or the zone next to it. If you attack someone in your zone with range, it's okay. It's still just ranged. It's not cancelled, or you don't get disadvantaged in other games like this. This doesn't exist here. It's still just a normal attack. Okay. So the zone is important. Line of sight as well. In the street, you can see as far as you want. You cannot see diagonally. You cannot see through walls. It's all very logical. If you're standing next to a building, you can see up to one room, but you cannot see as far as the second room. Okay, so which also kind of makes sense. What else should I say? When we attack, basically it says here, giant fists. This one once again is ranged. It says 0 to 1. That's the range, as I said before. This one, Giant Man has 2 dice, and he hits on 3 or higher. However, it's Marvel Zombies. We get hungry. Whenever we get hungry and we go up one spot, the level of hunger is added to the number of dice. So if he is like at level 3 hunger and he wants to attack, it'll be 3 plus 2, you roll 5 dice. So the hungrier you get, the more crazy and the more crazy you get, the more you want to attack, basically. Then you also have the hunger itself. If it reaches 4, you become ravenous, and the only thing you can do then is move or devour. So devour, you can see here, you only roll 1 dice, but of course it's 1 plus 4 if you do it devour at the highest level of hunger. So you roll 5 dice to try to get a 4 or higher, and then you eliminate a target. You go back to 0, but you don't get any XP for it, unless there's like a special scenario like today. If we devour a bystander, we do get 5 XP. If we devour somebody else, you do not. In the beginning, you only have the basic power, like in this case, Giant Man has his giant fists. If he levels up into the yellow area, the yellow area, then he'll get +1 action. If he levels up into the red area, then he'll get Crush and later on Stomp, which is at level 43. Well, not level 43, but it's at the 43 XP mark. This won't happen, okay? So when he uses his giant fists, it says here, you move +1 zone per move action. Your devour attack rolls +2 dice and may eliminate multiple enemies. So that's pretty crazy, as in when he's eating someone, he can eat multiple people. One thing I forgot to mention here is your wound track. If any zombie hero ever gets 5 wounds, you die and the game is over. This token is used to signify that this zombie hero has used all his moves. Okay. Then Moon Knight, we have Crescent Darts, which is range 0 to 1, 3 dice, hits on 4s. Devour is the same everywhere. Okay. Personality shift, each time you devour a bystander or enemy, roll a die. On a 1, increase your hunger by 3, basically almost nullifying it. On a 2 to 4, draw 1 zombie trait, which I'll explain later. On a 5 to 6, perform 1 free attack action, which is pretty nice. Magneto has Shrapnel, also range 0 to 1. They all have 0 to 1. 3 dice, hits on 4+. Once during your turn, you may increase hunger, so put it up 1, to select 1 bystander, enemy, or zombie hero with range 2 and move them into your zone. So you're basically pulling them in and then, of course, attacking them, right? Well, if you use an action after that. Gambit has Card Throw, so 2 dice, hits on 3 or 3 or higher. Once during your turn, you may discard a zombie trait card to perform a free card throw attack. It's not mentioned here, but that's what he does. He throws cards, right? A free card throw attack, rolling only 1 die. No bonuses possible. A successful roll deals a number of hits equal to 1 plus your hunger level to a single enemy. So if your hunger level is at 3 and you roll a 1, it's 4 damage, all right? If it's a 6, it would be 9 damage, which of course is super overkill, but it's super nice to use against superheroes. Okay, so the zombie traits are here, right? During your turn, you can spend one of your actions to get a zombie trait, and these can help you out. For example, we have this one here, Quick Bite. Discard during your turn, perform 1 free devour attack. So stuff like that. Most of the time you do one thing and you discard it. It should not be ignored because these can be very handy. We also have the bystander deck here. The bystanders are already on the board, but we'll only see them once we open the doors. Opening the doors is also an action. These are basically the cards that we use when there is an activation, you know, when we're spawning enemies and so on. So whenever there's an activation, we'll flip this over and it'll say what we have to do. We either spawn regular troopers, specialists, we have guards, and we have superheroes, right? The superheroes are all from the promo box. Well, everything is from the promo box, actually. but there's so many of them. I shuffled them, so we have no idea who is going to come out, if any of them come out, because there's only a couple of cards in here that will let the heroes come out, and yeah, we'll see whether or not they pop up. Okay, we have some door tokens as well, because when you kick in a door, you would place a door token here to signify that it's open. So I already said there's a number of actions you can do every turn. You can move. There's 3 actions, by the way, that you have. And once again, when you're in orange, you get an extra action. So one of them is move. So basically just 1. Simple as that. Wow, he's so giant that when he moves, the whole board moves. It's quite heavy. The second one is open a door, which I already said, so you just kick it in, and then when the door opens, you do the whole building. Right? If you kick this door open, you will activate everything here. So this means reveal an activation card. This means reveal an activation card. This means show the bystander who it is, and so on. Okay. Then we can also choose to use an action to gain a trait, which I already explained. And then we also can interact with an objective. So pick it up and put it there, get 5 XP, right? We can also use it to attack. Of course, either attack enemies or devour. Now, the bystanders, when they come out, you cannot devour them. You cannot attack them. You can only devour them. It's either eating them or letting them live. That is basically your only options. So when that happens, when you've finished all your turns and all the zombies have moved, then it's the turn for the heroes and everything. So they will spawn. They will first activate whoever is on the board, and then they will spawn new ones here and here. Okay. When they activate, they will always move towards us. They will move once. And if they need to, if they're in our zone already, they will attack. Now there are different kinds of enemies, as you see here. If it's a superhero, they'll have 2 actions. Toughness depends on the card. That's how much life they have, how much we have to hit them. And very important, let's say Black Panther had 4 life, if I'm not mistaken. You would have to damage him for 4 points, for 4 hits in one go. So even if I hit him for 2 and then it's Giant Man's turn, then it doesn't matter. Those 2 are immediately nullified. He has to hit them for 4 again. Otherwise, you know, XP reward is equal to toughness. Guards, they have 1 action. Their toughness is 2. Also XP reward 1. Trooper, 1 action, toughness 1. Specialists have 2 actions. And bystander has 1 action as well. Target priority is important because when we attack a zone with a bunch of people in them, we have to attack the superhero first, then guard, then trooper, then specialist, and so on. Some zombie superheroes can nullify this as well. But yeah, I don't think these are in the game at the moment. Okay, so I think that kind of does it. Oh yeah, by the way, when you attack and you roll this icon, your hunger increases. So also every turn, your hunger increases. I think that's like roughly covering everything. If anything comes up that I haven't mentioned yet, I will mention it. Also in the comments, if you feel like there's something something extremely important that I should have mentioned, I will put it in the comments. Okay. All right. So I suggest we will begin a quick camera check. It looks good. Okay. So, oh, by the way, when you devour a bystander, we'll put it here, and then its power will become yours. And you can get a maximum of 2 zombie traits. If you get more than 2, you can replace it. If you devour more than 1 bystander, you can also replace it. Okay. And bystanders can also be spawned by activation cards. Okay, let's begin. So we know what we have to do. We have 3 movements. I think since everybody has ranged, it's even easier, I feel. I'm going to start off with who hits easily. I think if they have less dice, they hit on lower numbers. So I think I'm going to take Giant Man, move him 1 spot over here, and then kick in this door. That's the second action. So the door is kicked in. Kabang, kabang, kablooey. So it has 1 bystander and 1 activation. So the activation card is this one. So we look at the bottom one because that's where the XP is of all the heroes. If one of the heroes goes into orange, we will look at the second one. So this is times 3. Okay, so that means 3 regular troopers will come out. Now we have 5 different models of troopers. So I'll just take out 3 now, and they are in here. with the bystander, which we will reveal now, and the bystander is Ben Urich. So let's see where Ben Urich is. I found him already, and if he gets devoured, it says each time a bystander is revealed or leaves a zone with a zombie hero, you may perform one free move action, ignoring enemies, which is pretty nice. So I'll put him here for now. All right, so that was my second action. So my third action will be attacking these three guys. Because my range is 0 to 1, I can see inside here, so I can attack them freely. So it says here I have two. Oh, by the way, I already forgot. Everyone is supposed to have 1 hunger at the start of your turn. So instead of 2 dice, Giant Man will have 3 dice. And he hits on 3 or higher. And these troopers, they get knocked out by 1 hit. And also, giant size, giant hunger, you move +1 zone per move action. Oh, okay. So, but it doesn't really matter in this case, because I was only going to do 1. Your Devour attack rolls +2 dice and may eliminate multiple enemies. Devour, actually, you could just try to eat them, which is pretty crazy. So, but I don't think he's gonna, because it's more difficult to do. So we'll just do the giant fists and roll. Wow, that was really bad. So we have 1 hunger, so this goes up by 1. And then we have a 4, which is 1 hit. So one of these guys is eliminated. So sadly, I was hoping that maybe he could eliminate all of them, which is not the case. So the other heroes are going to, well, the other zombies are going to have to clean up. So they can't just move in and devour now because of the, once again, the target priority, right? So that kind of limits us. So I think next up we will use Moon Knight. So he'll do 1 move. He'll be here. And then he can also attack from there. So it says here, each time you devour a bystander or enemy, roll a die. We're not going to do that. So we have 4 dice, 3 + 1. So we moved once. We've done 1 action, right? So he can roll 4 dice. And he hits on 4 or higher. So let's hope he gets at least 2 hits. So here goes. Okay, that's better than before. We have 2 hits with Moon Knight, so that's actually all we need. So these guys are gone. And then, so that's 1 move, 1 attack. And then third off, he'll go in. And I've forgotten to give XP, actually. So Giant Man should have gotten 1 XP because he took out 1 trooper. And then Moon Knight took out 2 troopers, so he gets 2 XP. All right, so now we're in the room with Ben Urich. But Ben Urich basically has nowhere to go. If he goes outside, Giant Man will devour him. And, you know, so basically it's safe. All right, so these 2 guys will go somewhere else. I think since people spawn here, it's better to go here. And because Magneto can actually pull people in, I think it should be Magneto to go inside, to open up first, maybe. For Gambit, it's once during your turn, you may discard a zombie trait card to perform a free card throw attack. Yeah, that's just when you want to hit someone that's a lot more powerful. So Gambit will open the door. No, Magneto will. Okay, so 1 move. Second move is opening the door. So boom. And there'll be 1 activation. Just 1, yeah. So spawning is Daredevil. Okay, after a bystander is devoured, Daredevil immediately performs 2 actions. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Well, pretty cool for the heroes, not for me, obviously. So Daredevil, I have to go find Daredevil. Should be easy, because I just have to look for 2 batons. Yeah, found him already. No need to edit anything. So here's Daredevil, which is horrible. So I'll put his card here, because no one's going to go there anyway. And then the bystander who is revealed is Karen Page. So Karen Page is here. During your turn, you may discard this card to gain any discarded zombie trait card. Oh, okay, so you can basically reuse a zombie trait card. So I'll put her here as well. Okay, so that was the second action. Now, so the third action is we have him. We could attack Daredevil. He only has 3 health at least, could be more. Remember, I talked about Black Panther had 4. And we also have Gambit, of course, who can discard a zombie trade card. So he could get one and then discard it and then try to hit Daredevil. But Magneto is just going to... I could increase hunger to select one bystander, enemy, or zombie hero within range 2 and move them into your zone. So I'm going to increase my hunger by 1 and pull him in. And I still have my last action. So, because I think that's an extra action, just once during your turn. So I will, as my third action, I will attack him with shrapnel. So I have 5 dice, 3 plus 2 hunger. And I hit on 4+. So if I have 3 hits, Daredevil is down. So let's see. I do not have 3 hits, very sad. But I don't have any hunger either, so at least that's good. So 6 and 4 would have been 2 hits, but I need to have 3 to kill him. So he just brushes it off and keeps going. So that's Magneto done. And Magneto is, and of course Moon Knight is also done. So then Gambit is going to try to take care of Daredevil. So first of all, he could attack as well, but he would only have 3 dice, which means he can't fail. But I can try, you know what, I'm going to try once to attack. And then, because I have 3 actions, right? I can attack once and then see, maybe I'll kill him outright. Yeah, and then I can always get the zombie trade anyway. So let's see. No, it's only 2 hits and I increased my hunger by 1. So that's not very good. So as my second action, I'll take a zombie trait, which I'm going to discard most likely. It says Feast. Discard when performing a Devour attack. This attack may eliminate more than 1 enemy. Target priority applies. But I am going to remove it immediately to use my special action. Once during your turn, you may discard a zombie trait card to perform a free card throw attack, rolling only 1 die. No bonuses. A successful roll deals a number of hits equal to 1 plus your hunger level to a single enemy. So I only roll 1 die, but I need to roll 3 or higher. That would then be successful. And then it would be 1 plus 2 is 3, which would be perfect to take care of Daredevil. So I need to roll 3 or higher. Come on. 4. Oh, thank goodness. So it works. 3 hits, so 1 plus my hunger level, 1 plus 2 is 3. So Daredevil is already knocked out. So that would give 3 XP to Gambit. And that is immediately the end, because once again, he can do it with a range of 0 and 1, so he can reach it. That'd be the end of my turn. So there is activation. First of all, the enemies are activated. So there's no enemies on the board, except, so this can go away, except for the bystanders, and they will try to go to the exit. Now there's a door here, which is still locked for as far as I know. So I'm going to say that he walks out here. Please do tell me if it's wrong or not, but I do believe that's the way it's supposed to be. And if not, it'll just be a little bit more difficult to devour them, but yeah. And then Karen Page also tries to get out, so she goes this way. They're all trying to get to the spawn points, right? Okay. The closest spawn zone, so it's either here or there. Obviously it's there. So they have been activated, that's fine. Next is the spawn enemies. So we'll start here first, and that card is from here. Ah, another superhero comes out. Well, what do you know? So that superhero is... Oh my goodness, I did it wrong. Okay, actually, it's kind of funny. I took Daredevil from the wrong pile before, but it all works out because that would have been this card and that would have been Daredevil. So now we'll do the real one, which is another superhero. Okay, they have been shuffled, I promise. So the superhero that comes out is Luke Cage. All right, so Luke Cage comes out and his power is... Devour attacks within range 1 suffer -1 to dice results. Devouring him does not reduce hunger. Okay, so it's Luke Cage. Let's see if I can easily find him. Yes, I can. All right, so he has spawned here. All right, so next up will be here. Another super, really? I promise, I played before, I shuffled then, I reshuffled again today, and now all the superheroes are coming out, which I guess makes it more interesting, let's be honest. So, it is Captain Marvel. If a zombie hero enters a zone with a bystander, immediately place her in that zone. All zombie heroes there suffer 1 wound. Oh man, and she has 4 health. What? Wow, it suddenly became a lot more difficult. Here she is. So basically she's going to cause some real problems. So once again, it says if a zombie hero enters a zone with a bystander, immediately place her in that zone. I guess it doesn't apply to this because he's already there. No one has entered there. But with Karen Page, it's definitely going to happen. Okay, so they have been spawned. That is it. And then it is done. Once again, we increase the hunger. So Gambit is at 3, Magneto is at 3, Moon Knight at 2, and Giant Man is also at 3. So I flip these back over again. This should have been flipped before, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so who's gonna go first? I think maybe we should level up. So I think I'm gonna start with Moon Knight and take that objective. So he's gonna get 5. Yeah, start with Moon Knight. He takes the objective. So he'll get 5 XP, which puts him on 7. Which of course means from now on, if anything spawns, it's going to be orange level. So put it on the side, doesn't really matter where it goes. So that means he still has 3 actions left because now he has +1 action. Okay. So he is going to go 1, 2, and I think... Wait, he was here. So 1. And I think when you move, you have to spend 1 extra action per enemy in your zone. So I'm just going to double check if that also means bystanders. Okay, a bystander is not an enemy. There's 4 types of enemies, it says in the manual, and bystander is not one of them. So 1 action was getting the objective. The second one is, so we have 3 left. So second one is move. Third one is I don't want to open those doors yet, actually, because I want to take care of those heroes first. So he's going to come here and he's going to take a zombie trait because I don't want to move him farther. The zombie trait is Undead Range. Discard and increase hunger by any amount when enemies enter your zone. Immediately perform 1 free attack targeting your zone. So discard and increase hunger by any amount when enter... Okay. So you can just discard and increase it by 1, which would work for him, which is nice. So if Luke Cage ends up entering here, then Moon Knight can immediately attack with 6 dice, technically. Okay, so Moon Knight is done. So I think we'll have Giant Man devour this poor bystander. So he also, no, he won't have a level up though, but he'll be close at least. Because we need to take care of the bystanders first before thinking about Luke Cage. Although I could have Gambit do the same thing as before. Okay, let's make Gambit do the same thing as before. So he's gonna move once. He's gonna get a zombie trait, which is discard and suffer 1 wound during your turn before perform 1 free action, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use that to do another free card throw like we did before. So once again, if we succeed, it'll be 1 plus 3, and we need to roll 3 or higher. So if we succeed, we get rid of Luke Cage. If we fail, then he's kind of right there in the open. It's really a risk because actually I set up him to fight him, but yeah, let's see. I fail. I roll hunger. So I guess my hunger increases because... I guess it doesn't. It just fails. I guess it just fails. So that was my 3rd action. Yeah, so he's stuck there now. So now he kind of needs to be saved. Maybe Giant Man can do something. First, Giant Man will devour. So he has 3 plus 1. Is it? Yeah, and he needs to roll 4 or higher. Hunger doesn't matter at this point. So it works. Ben Urich is devoured. And once again, the power is, each time a bystander is revealed or leaves the zone with a zombie hero, you may perform one free move action ignoring enemies. So actually, if when they leave, he can actually move. So he could have moved. Oh no, from now on he can move. Okay, so he gets 5, so he's up to 6 now. He has 2 actions left. So we're going to do 1 and 2 just so he can share the blows if Luke Cage attacks, or when Luke Cage attacks. So he will be able to, when he attacks, he always automatically hits, right? So he would hit twice because he has 2 actions. So it will be a wound for each of them. Blah. So difficult to speak today. All right, so Giant Man is done. Then we have Magneto, who has his eyes on Karen Page and the objective. So he moves in 1. And by moving into her zone, Captain Marvel arrives. Yeah. So he gets a wound anyway because she arrives. So at this point, he did 1 move. He just moved in, and then she arrived and wounded him. So now he has 2 actions left. He has 6 dice. So I guess he's going to try and kill Captain Marvel. There's not much else to do. Problem is, if he gets 1 hunger, he reaches ravenous, and then he has to devour. So we'll see. So 3 plus 3, so 6. Yeah, here we go. Come on, Magneto. That does not look good at all. No, only 2 hits and 2 hunger. So that was the second action. He's now ravenous. Now, can you devour a superhero? Yes, you can. So that would be 4 plus 1, 5. And I still would need to hit, how many? 4, right? I still need to hit 4 and only have 5 dice. That's very, very, very difficult. This is going really bad, actually. Yeah, it failed horribly. At least the hunger doesn't do anything. But that means all my heroes have moved, and it's looking really bad for me, to be honest. So that is the end of this turn. So he suffers a wound as well. Okay, so the enemy turn, activate enemies. So the Luke Cage has 2 actions, so he'll move once and then attack once. I will give the wound to Giant Man. There we go. So that's done. Then Captain Marvel will attack twice, and so that's 2 wounds for Magneto, who is almost dead. Karen Page will move outside because she's trying to get to here or here. Then we will activate those. By the way, because she moved, he gets an extra move action, right? Because of Ben Urich. Ignoring enemies. So he can actually leave that space. And I think I will, because we're going to need all the help we can get with Captain Marvel over there. So he's going to come over here and leave Gambit alone with Luke Cage. All right. And she does not have Karen Page yet. No. Okay, so Magneto is in a really bad spot. Anyway, then it's activation. So here, which is troopers open fire. Luckily, there are no troopers around. So I did see people online saying that to make it more interesting, if this doesn't happen, there's no troopers, you draw again. But I think at this point it's already difficult enough, so I'm not going to use that house rule. Also, it's a house rule, so technically it's not necessary. So here, 3 guards appear. Okay, so 3 guards appear. Here we go. So they appear here. So they all have toughness of 2, so they're more difficult to kill. All right, so then the hunger increases. So Giant Man is ravenous, Moon Knight is at 3, Magneto is still, luckily doesn't get this yet. And Gambit is also ravenous, so almost all of them were ravenous. Okay, let's activate everybody. Okay, we have Gambit here. I'm not going to try to fight Luke Cage because Devouring is -1. And yeah, it's basically impossible to kill him that way. So, alright, so then we will have Moon Knight, who still has regular attacks, move in, which means she arrives here and wounds him. And then he will attack her with Crescent Darts, which is 3 + 3 is 6 and hits on 4s. So he has 3 actions left to kill her. So that's a fail. And sadly, it increases hunger, so he's now also ravenous. Oh, but that's a stupid tactic. That's a stupid tactic. I should have had Giant Man go in and then have her hit from a distance. Okay, well, I'm going to live with my mistake. So that's 2, so 2 more. So now I have 1 die less. I have to try to cannibalize. Devour, sorry. No, 3 again, need to have 4, 1 more. Yes, finally, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4. She's gone, oh my goodness. All right, she's gone. That means 4 XP for Moon Knight. So he's at 11, and his hunger is at 0. Okay, so that is Moon Knight done. Then we have, we'll do Magneto. He will do 1 step here, use his second action to pick up the objective, so 5 XP, that's his first 5. And then his third action to move back out. That's it. That's Magneto done. Oh, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. Sorry. Reverse. He needs to devour or he's dead. Sorry, he cannot do that. So the 5 goes, well, the 5 will stay because he moves 1 move, and then he will roll 5 dice to try to hit Karen Page for 1 4+, which he does. So he's back to 0, hunger anyway, and Karen Page is gone, and he gets her card. That was his first action. Where's Karen Page? Here. As a second action, well, we'll do. I need him to stay away from Luke Cage, though. We'll do 2. Oh, it was 1. Devour 2. So he has 1 action left. He's gonna go back inside. All right. So that's Magneto done. Then we have Giant Man left and Gambit. Gambit is still messing around with Luke Cage. The problem is Gambit and Giant Man are ravenous, but Luke Cage does -1 to rolls. So you literally have to roll 4 5s to get rid of him, which is crazy. So leaving Luke Cage's space is -1 movement, so only has 2 movements that he can do. Which is what he's going to do. He's going to do 1 and 2. Oh, 1 and 2 over here. Giant Man is going to do the same, but Giant Man has still also only 3 actions. So Giant Man will do 1. No. He'll do 1 and 2, and then he will take a zombie trait. He cannot do a zombie trait. He can only move and devour. He can't even open doors. Yeah, he's just gonna stay then, I guess. And then Gambit already moved, so that's the end. Yes, that's the end. So Gambit takes a wound. Giant Man takes a wound. The rest is okay. Then we activate, so it's going to be 1. And then he chooses which one. As far as I know, I choose, because they're equal distance. Yeah, so I choose where he goes. So he's going to follow Gambit, I think. No, he's gonna follow Moon Knight because Magneto can unleash shrapnel hell on him. So, and then these guys activate as well. They move forward one spot, which is perfect. And then we have 2 activations, the top over there, which is 6 troopers. So 3 guys. And girls as well. 2, 3. So there's 6 of them. And then here in the corner, we have 2 specialists. 2 specialists, who are slightly more annoying because they have 2 actions when they're activated. All right, and that is it. The hunger increases. Of course, cannot be because they're ravenous, but Moon Knight is 1, Magneto is 1. Okay, so first we will do Giant Man because he can devour more than 1 person. He has 5 dice, of course. And it says here you move +1 zone per move. Action, your devour attack rolls +2 dice and may eliminate multiple enemies. So basically I have 6 dice and 1 extra. So basically 7 dice. Multiple enemies. Okay, so we'll see how many we can devour there. So it has to be 4 or higher. So these are all hits already, and then I can reroll 1. It's another hit, so 2, 4, 5. So 1 bumps off, but he devours 2 guards. That's pretty awesome. 2 guards are eaten, have been eaten. So the toughness, the experience for the guards is just 1, right? Yeah. But then devouring, as far as I know, does not give you XP anyway. No, only bystanders normally don't give any. So he gets 2 points, 2 experience points. So that puts him in he levels up basically, which is pretty awesome. Because of the leveling up, he now has an extra action. So that was his first action. He now still has 3 actions left. So he is going to he has 3 actions left. He's going to help fight him. So it's going to be 1, 2. And with the third one, he's going to attack Luke Cage. Although his hunger is now 0 because he devoured. So he only has 2 dice that hits on 3. So, actually, sorry. It is, he attacked, there was 1. Move is +1. So 2. So he still has 2 attacks left. So he rolls 2 dice. 2 dice that hit on 3. So it's basically impossible to kill Luke Cage. Yeah, it's not a good idea then. Yeah, might as well. Might as well what? Because he's here now. He still has 3 actions. I guess he'll attack him as well. How many? Gambit only has 3 actions as well. Gambit needs to kill this guy actually. But Gambit can still do 1, 2 and hit those 2 from a distance. Yeah. Yes. So he's gonna go for him. Okay, so 2, 5, 4 is a success. So this guy is also dead. That was his second action. So devour and then an attack. So he gets another point. So he's at 9. So he has 2 more actions left. He'll get 1 zombie trait, which is discard after devouring a guard or superhero, heal 1 of your wounds. Wow, well that just came too late. And then we have 1 more action. He's going to jump back to the middle. There we go. Then we're going to do Magneto, who's going to attack with 4 dice, and he hits on 4s. 4 dice and he hits on 4s to try to kill Luke Cage. But Moon Knight can attack him as well. Actually, maybe Moon Knight should attack first. Because if he rolls too much hunger, he's in danger again. So Yeah, Moon Knight will attack first. So Moon Knight is going to attack with 4 dice, hits on 4s as well. And then we'll see. We'll see if Luke Cage survives. So we need to roll 4 4s or higher. No, increase hunger. So we have 3 more actions, but that of course gives us an extra die. So now we have 5 dice that we can roll. So second action. Oh, and done. 5 5 6 6. Luke Cage is knocked out by Luke. So that gives him 4 XP. So he's up to 15. Okay, I actually don't want him to kill much more because otherwise we're going to go into red and make it a lot more difficult as well. Okay, so that was his second action. So he still has 2 left. He's going to get another zombie trait, which says spawn 1 trooper in your zone, then draw another trait card. What? Okay. Draw another trait card. Discard during your turn and increase hunger. Perform 1 free attack action. Alright, so he's there. I still have 1 action. I think I'll just try to devour him. Because devour is 3 dice and hits on 4+. Okay. 5, yeah. So he's been devoured. It's like, thank you for the snack. So down to 0. I get 1 XP for that, yeah. 1 XP. Okay, so that's Moon Knight done. Magneto is fairly simple. He goes here, picks up the objective, so that's +5, so he's at 10 now, so that means he has 2 actions left. So 1, 2, and done. Simple. Yeah. Then it is no, everyone's has done their turn except for Gambit. So Gambit needs to eat. So he's gonna go here. 1. Oh, but he can't eat. That's a problem. I shouldn't have killed that one because he can't devour from a distance. Yeah. So he's gonna get damaged no matter what. Okay. And all he can do is walk around. Alright, so yeah. I should have played that better. I think he's just gonna go here. Because they're gonna move twice. They're gonna end up here. So he's just gonna stay. He's gonna go here. 1. That's it. And then end his turn and he'll take a wound. Wow, this is way more difficult than it originally was than the first time I played because of the cards that came out, which is actually good because I thought it was too easy then. Okay, so activate enemies. So all these guys move up once. These move twice. 1, 2. And then we draw 1 card from here. Hopefully it's not open fire because then the game is over, actually. Escorted bystander. Okay, so it is still yellow. So we're going to have a guard. And 1 bystander, and that bystander is Happy Hogan. So Happy Hogan says, when performing ranged attacks, you may increase hunger to gain +1 range, which is pretty good. And then the second one is wow, 4 specialists. So go here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, and that's it. Yes, that's it. So then we flip it all over again and increase hunger. So Giant Man is at 1. Moon Knight is at 1. Magneto is at 2. Gambit is still at 4. Yeah. So we'll start with Gambit. He will devour 1 specialist. So he has 5 dice. He has to roll 4 or higher. That is okay. That works. So the specialist is gone. He only has 1 toughness, so it's quite easy. So that gives him 1 XP, so he's at 4. And then secondly, he will attack. But he will only have 2 dice, but they hit on 3. So that works out. He gets another point. He's at 5 now. And then he has 1 more action. Realizing that he's actually standing a little bit too close to those, he moves up 1. Okay. So that's him done. I think Giant Man is going to play some bowling and try to get rid of some of those people. So I think we should open the door first. We're going to open a door with Magneto. Because Magneto has 4 actions. So the first action is going to be open the door. So we're going to do Magneto first. So he knocks open the door. Then we spawn. And the spawning we have is Trooper Rush. Oh, wow. So basically 6 troopers and they rush here. So it's like they were waiting inside and they just rush out. So, hoda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. And then the bystander that comes out is Harry Osborn. Each time you use a zombie trait, one other zombie hero within range 2 may increase or decrease hunger by 1. Oh, that's pretty cool. So he's there. So once again, we have to get rid of all the bystanders and the objectives. But the one that just spawned, like Happy Hogan, does he have to be removed as well? Because he was not part of the beginning. Yeah, all bystanders. Okay. Okie dokie. So that was the first action, open the door, and now they're all there. But that means Magneto can use his attack, which is 2. Actually, it's dangerous to opening it because if it was open fire, he would have died again. So it is 2. Oh, and this is spawned, which means he can move actually. But then moving isn't necessarily necessary, I feel. Like you could actually jump over them and be here because he can ignore enemies. That seems a bit tricky though. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because I'm confident they will take care of these guys and then they can attack there from there. So he has a free movement and stands next to them. So maybe he can devour them, who knows. Okay, so Magneto only did 1 action, opening the door. So now he has 3 left. And he has 5 dice to do the shrapnel attack. So he'll attack these guys. Let's see how many he can take out. Hits on 4. Well, one hunger, which is bad, but the other 4s are hits. So he basically kills 4 of them. There we go. So that was his second action. Third action is going to be Devour. Because he really needs to kill 1 at least. So it's 3 plus 1, so 4 dice and hits on 4. So he's going to try to Devour. He managed to do that. So that's already 5 XP actually. Because he already took out 5 of them. So he's already at 15. So that was his third action. So he's back to 0. And he can discard current page to get one of these, but none of these are actually worth it. No. So he is going to attack once more because of that trooper is in the way anyway for his final attack. So that will be just 3 dice and hit on 4. So hopefully he's able to take out that last one. He is. Perfect. So gets 1 more XP. So he's at 16. And then Moon Knight can have a field day with those 6 potentially. Even though it'll put him in the red, which is kind of horrible. Okay. Yeah. So let's do Giant Man first. Giant Man has a hunger of 1. He's going to devour, but that gives him +2, so he has 4 dice to devour. And he can devour multiple targets. So if he has 3, he can devour all 3 of them. Then he needs to have 3, 4. Okay, so something happened which stopped my camera from recording apparently, which is quite annoying, but this is how it ended. So I'll quickly tell you what happened. Giant Man was here. He was able to devour the guard and what's his name? No, not Harry Osborn. The other one, I decided not to keep that person, Happy Hogan. He devoured them immediately, which is really handy. And then was able to get rid of some of them here. But in the end, it was Moon Knight, I believe, who came out and helped. I was able to save Magneto, guard him from damage, so that was good. Some people came over here. Gambit started getting more damage because of his hunger, but was able to kill the specialist that came this way. And because of the fact that he killed them, he was able to move back, have this extra action, and help out here. They decided to I decided to knock down the door here, but this spawned 10 troopers here, and then 4 specialists here. But then luckily, thanks to Giant Man, he was able to devour a bunch, and also Magneto was able to take out a bunch. And in the end, it was Gambit. It wasn't Gambit. It was Moon Knight again who was able to come in, get the objective, and also the Jimmy Woo was devoured by Magneto because Jimmy Woo came out. And his special ability was, during your turn you may increase hunger and discard this card to search the zombie trade deck for any 1 card, which I didn't do because by then it was useless. You saw the amount of people that spawned at the last point. Actually, the last card also spawned 4 guards, but I didn't put them out anymore because they could just easily escape. It's a bit of a shame that the last 15 minutes, I think 20 minutes, isn't on there, but you can see Giant Man finished with 29 XP, Moon Knight with 31, so they were definitely the MVPs. Magneto with 22, Gambit with 12. And just to reiterate, Giant Man, his special ability was Crush, which was also used. Once during your turn, you may automatically deal 1 enemy within range 1 a number of hits equal to your hunger level. So in the end, he only used it on regular troopers, but still handy. Moon Knight was, each time you would suffer a wound, you may discard 1 zombie trait to prevent that wound. Each time you become ravenous, draw 1 zombie trait. Of course, that didn't happen, but it's a pretty nice ability. Magneto, once during your turn, you may increase hunger by any number to deal the same number of hits to 1 enemy within range 2. If this eliminates a superhero, draw 1 zombie trait, which is basically very powerful if you're at 0, because then you can do an instant 4 damage. But then, of course, you become ravenous, and most likely will take Moon's next round. And then Gambit never got activated, but each time you attack with card throw, you may roll +1 die for each enemy in your zone before any other bonuses, ignoring superheroes for this attack. So yeah, I really like this game. I think it's really cool. I like the theme. In the beginning it was a bit like zombies, but in the end, I think it's pretty cool. I like the minis, of course. Being able to jump around with this guy because he has +2 movement because he's so tall is really nice. They're all quite different in the way that they play. I played the base game as well with some of the base heroes as well. I think these 4 were just chosen because I really like them, but in the future I'll just probably do 4 random ones or whatever. I like the fact that I played this scenario twice, and once was super easy, and the second time I actually had to, make sure Magneto didn't get hit. I took a lot of risks. At one point there were 6 guys here, and he was here for 2 activations. If any of those activations would have been sidearm, troopers open fire, he would have been dead and it would have been over. So I did take several risks, which I like that it turned out good, it didn't turn out bad. Yeah, the fact that this deck is so thick and you have no idea what comes out. I mean, the triple heroes that came out was crazy, especially Captain Marvel, and then combined with Luke Cage. If you're next to him, he does -1 to the Devour. Is really annoying. Devour rules. Yeah, it's cool. There's a little bit of a learning curve as in using the traits, because you kind of always want to attack and move, but the traits can be really powerful when you can use them at certain times. Like Giant Man healed a wound by devouring a guard. I had like several attacks do more damage because of traits. So yeah, the fact that there's such a huge deck of heroes as well. I want to do the hero variant as well, because there's so many minis. Yeah. So, like I said in the beginning, if you want me to do anything specific, game modes, I mean, I can do PvP as well and just pretend I'm someone else if I can't immediately find someone. Because at the moment in my friend group we're focused on Voidfall and other games, so that's possibly coming. So yeah, do let me know, and if I made any mistakes, let me know as well. I don't think so, but it's always possible. But then again, people never think they made mistakes. I made some mistakes in the playthrough, but I realized them, so there's also that. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for watching, and my name is Joachim, always will be. This was So Many Games All the Time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.